everybody. Today, if you've heard what we're doing today by reading the title, good job. You have eyeballs and can read. That's actually a pretty good skill to have. Anyway, we're going to be going over a tier list today for Marvel Phase 4. Now, for this, I had to create my own tier list because every tier list that I could find either didn't have something or that was the only reason. There was a lot that was missing, like certain shows or like the specials for just no reason. I don't understand. And it would say like all of them. It would say like all Marvel Phase 4 or something. It wasn't. So I went ahead and made one. If you want to use it, there will be a link to it in the description. But let's get started. I have them in order down here at the bottom. As you can see here, they're in order by release. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I've seen a lot of these tier list videos for Phase 4 or just Marvel in general for the shows and whatnot. And a lot of people put WandaVision down towards the bottom here. But actually, I would put it a little further up than that. And the reason being, we might change her around a little bit, but the reason being is WandaVision is a lot more different than anything else. And the only reason I think people put it lower is because the ending is so horrible and bad, which it is. But I think as a whole overall, if we're talking about the whole show, I think the show is good enough as a whole to put it at minimum in B tier, but we might put it up in A tier depending on what else we got going on, because I haven't really thought about this before we did this, before I started recording. So we're going to put it in B tier for now, and we're going to come down here and we're going to go to the next one. So next we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think is honestly worse than WandaVision, but is still pretty good. Now I don't want to get political or anything, but I don't like the way they integrated politics into the show. It felt very forced. So I'm gonna put it as a solid B tier. Again, the ending isn't great. The Captain America costume is great. I hope that if they ever, for any reason, do put him back into Falcon role instead of being Captain America, but that's not going to be anytime soon. And I don't necessarily want this either. But if they ever did, then they should definitely just use that exact same costume and color it red and call it a day. But it's such a good costume. I'm sad that the Winter Soldier didn't get a better costume, but that's where I stand with that one. Moving on to Loki. Loki is a solid A tier. It doesn't go any higher. It's not perfect. By any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of horrible crap in that show, but I think it's solid all the way through. Whereas with these two, they aren't. They both have like an episode near the end that's just garbage for no reason. So, yeah, Loki's a solid A tier, for sure. Black Widow, I don't have F tier. F tier. You're going to F tier. All right. Why is it an F tier? It's not a good movie. It doesn't really fit. I'm about to say something real stupid. It doesn't really fit with Phase 4, but nothing really fits with Phase 4, really. I will say this. The effects are really, 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 really bad. And so it's hard to even watch that movie. I've seen it once, and then we watched it again at home, and I made it to the tank scene, and I just couldn't watch it anymore. It was just so bad. Moving on. What If is all over the place in quality and storytelling in general. It's just not a great movie. It's not a great show. It's definitely below these two. I'm not sure if I would put it in D tier, except for the fact that the ending is so bad. You're going to hear me say the ending is so bad a lot, actually, in this video, because that's just what it is. Like, they're all fine or really good until the very end, and then they go down into the poop. So probably going to put What If at D tier. We might raise it up, maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see. Next up is Shang-Chi. It's at least a solid B tier. It might even be a solid. It's probably a solid A tier. Yeah, we're gonna put it above Loki. Um, yeah, we're gonna put it above Loki because it's solid all the way through. There's not really anything wrong with it, except for the Abomination tease with Wong. But that's not really a problem with the movie. It's really just a problem with Phase 4 as a whole, where they set up things and they don't go anywhere. Um, so I wouldn't even count that. Oh, except for the ooh. See, I don't like the big ending dragon thing, but I also haven't seen this movie in a while, and I might have stopped paying attention to that point, and I was just kind of mad at that. But so okay, we'll put it above Loki. It's definitely got better action than Loki, so I will put it above Loki. People are gonna be really mad at me for this one. Eternals, we're oh, people aren't gonna like me for this. They're not gonna like me for this. Right there, tied with Shang-Chi, maybe even better actually. Um, I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I enjoy this movie over pretty much every movie that they. It's the best one, except for one of them, but that doesn't count. That one doesn't count. It doesn't count. This one's good. This one's really good. I just like the characters. I like the story. It's just all around. It's really good. I think personally. I don't know. Next up we got Hawkeye. F tier. No, I'm kidding. D tier. Uh, yeah, above what if? If okay, it's so. It feels like a sitcom, and I hate sitcoms a lot. Actually, I don't necessarily have a problem with the idea of a Hawkeye sitcom. I personally don't like sitcoms at all, but that's not that big of a deal. But also, the acting feels like a sitcom, and if you've ever watched Big Bang Theory, there you go. The acting's not great, and there's a lot of, and it's so odd. It's so odd that they did this. It's such a weird thing to do. They have the characters ad lib or not? No, 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 no. Scratch that. They have characters talking, but then the camera is showing the character's mouth and it's not moving, and you're like, why? Why isn't it? Why? Why? And so yeah, it's just not great. Kingpin's cool, but he's in it for 3 seconds, so shut up. You don't get a choice. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna put it in S tier. Here's why I'm not putting it in S tier. S tier is there's nothing in S tier, not anything in S tier, at all. Here's why. None of them are great. Spider-Man and one other one are even remotely close to being an S tier, and it's just you can't. We're gonna put it in S tier, whatever. S tier, whatever. S tier. Call me nostalgic if you want, but you're right. You're right. I'm nostalgic. No, it. Here's the thing. If you replaced all of if everything was exactly the same, except for the actors were not in it, like the right actors for the characters weren't in it, and it was different people, it would have been just as good of a movie. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't even like most of those guys anyway. So yeah. Moon Knight, solid A tier. I'm probably gonna below Shang-Chi. Equal with Shang-Chi. Equal. These three equal. This one's worse. Um, I might even drop it actually. I'm gonna drop it. No, not there. Um, yeah. Yep. That's where we're putting it. Yeah. Why did I put Moon Knight there? because it doesn't have that weird thing where there's a bad ending at the end that all of the other shows have, really, where there's, or like a lot of everything, really, where it just kind of ends for no reason because they forgot how to write. I don't know what happens. Why they did that for every single show, basically. It's so weird. Anyway, Doctor Strange, solid C. Solid C. For sure. Well, actually, I'm going to put it at the end of B tier. It's worse than all three of these shows here, but I think it would be here at the beginning of B tier if it didn't build up so much hype for itself that it didn't have. Like, I don't know. And you can say that's my fault, aka everyone's fault, because that's how everyone felt. But like, you shouldn't be advertising like there's gonna be a bunch of crazy stuff and then it's not that and there's like two universes. Like, what are we doing? Also, I hate that they're calling it 616. I hate that. Not because it's not what it's called in the Marvel comics, because I don't read the comics, just to be completely honest with you. My problem is that you shouldn't have Mysterio reference it as a joke and then it actually be real. Like, what are we doing? Come on. Good Lord. Miss Marvel, solid B tier. It's better than yeah, it's better than Loki. Actually, I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's pretty good. I like Miss Marvel. It's campy, but the acting's good, and the only thing that feels a little weird is her powers, but they don't really explain them, and I think that's for the best because they're getting explained in another thing anyway. Probably, I would hope. The only thing that would put it higher, the only thing that would put it higher is if Captain Marvel wasn't in it. So take her out, S tier, fully in S tier. It goes past everything. It gets put at the front. Just take her out of the post credit scene. Don't put that in there. It's a joke, but not really. Thor: Love and Thunder. That is Did I like it? Did I not like it? If you've seen the video, you would know. It's all right. It's better than that. It's better than that. No, it's not. Yeah, it's better than that. Yeah. I don't hate that movie. It's okay. It's all right to me. She-Hulk, putting it in D tier. It isn't good, but it's not worse than Black Widow. Actually, I'm gonna put it above What If, because What If kind of is garbage. What If is garbage. Werewolf by Night, C tier. That's probably gonna be the only C tier. Actually, no, we got one more C tier. C tier. Why am I putting in C tier? Well, C tier is not horrible like these four right here, but it's not mediocre like these four, and it's not great like these five. So it's not mediocre, but it's not horrible. It's kind of like in between mediocre and horrible. It's like on the edge, and honestly, it would be a D tier, but I like Man Thing a lot, so gotta leave it on C tier. That's not why. I like the black and white. I like the whole aesthetic, or I wouldn't have put it in C tier. I would have put it in D tier. Wakanda Forever is the only other S tier. Scroll up for me. Scroll up for me, homie. There we go. And it's worse than Spider-Man, but not by a lot. I would say they're basically tied. The only reason Spider-Man's better is nostalgia, really. I mean, it really is. And honestly, if you know me at all, which I don't think I've ever talked about it on this channel ever, but the first Black Panther sucks, and I hate it a lot. But I like this one, and I don't know why. I might need to go back and rewatch the first one, but I like this one a lot. If the original was on this list, it would be down here somewhere, but it's not because this is Phase 4, not Phase 3. And so, yeah, that's about where we're at with that. And for our last thing, also C tier. Better than Werewolf though. There we go. Better than Werewolf. So, what do you guys think? I think that it's perfect, but that's because I made it. If you want to make your own tier list off of this one I made, I will have a link, like I said, in the description down below, and you can send it to me on Twitter at NOTCLICKBAIT, and whatever else, whatever the rest of the at is, I don't remember. Yeah. Eat your celery. Have a good one. Peace.